Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Virtual Racing School Super Series live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is Austin Knight. Louis Araya is broadcasting this stream on our YouTube channel this evening, and we are here at Mosport for this round of the championship, a couple of 25-minute races for you to witness this evening. Austin, all of a sudden we are visiting Mosport in all of our broadcasts on Apex Racing TV. This place is a lots of fun to drive, but I think one of the most tricky circuits to overtake in all of the sim.
Yeah, it's Mosport or everybody's gone over to Daytona. There's some event going on over there. I'm not sure what they're talking about. People are crazy, I guess. But yeah, we're here at Mosport. It's Mosport Madness here this weekend in Apex Racing TV. We got the Formula 3s over here for our VRS Super Series here today, and the IGB Fun tomorrow on Sunday. Also yesterday, the Radicals were here, and they were putting on a great show, as I love watching them throw it around here. But yeah, here we are today for the Apex Racing Academy VRS F3 Super Series, and we got two races for y'all. Two 25-minute races, and Mosport is such a fun track. It's dangerous, it's challenging, and you know, you just when you drive around here, you get that great lap. You just get a good smile on your face.
Yeah, it can be a very satisfying circuit, can't it? To just kind of nail each one of those corners. Lots of different lines that you can take, or you can just sort of skim each curve as you go along and really nail quite this short lap. It is a really good feeling, so hopefully the drivers will enjoy themselves out there. This is round 7 out of 9. The end of the championship has kind of snuck up on us a little bit. I think we should be able to show you the championship standings at the moment, and it is currently Tobias Olsen at the top, and this is with drop scores applied. So a bad round for each of these drivers will have different consequences, but this is the best accurate kind of description of the points. And currently Olsen, Claire, Will Redford has been arguably the fastest driver this season, but he still sits 50 points behind, and there's quite a big gap. Marteau missed round 1. And so he has had a lot to come back ever since then. And then in the amateurs, I believe it's still Lennart Schnabel at the front, but Aaron Smith has been pushing him all the way. Jack Reeve a bit distant there in 4th place, maybe Boberg with a chance, but I think it's probably most likely a two-way battle in both championships from here on in, Austin.
Yeah, Schnabel, he was not that prepared for this week. He is driving in the LMP2 right now, well, earlier today, and he's hopped over here to race in F3, and he's doing exactly what I'm doing right now, but, you know, instead of me driving an LP2 pretty confidently, I'm driving a GT3 backwards pretty much at bottom split, but I don't know how I got there. It wasn't my fault.
Are you seriously, is that an exaggeration, or are you genuinely?
No, I'm actually at bottom split.
What's your I rating? You're not that bad, Austin.
My I rating is 1800, but my teammates are just absolutely terrible.
That's insane. I mean, that's
it's
remarkable.
300, 400, and 800. I'm not making it up, too.
I mean, if you don't win this, Austin.
Oh, they've already crashed the car. They've already crashed the car. I went to go get food, and I come back, the car's in the pits for 40 minutes. I'm like, what did you do?
And so just putting our CVs out there, Mr. Austin Knight there, bottom splits of Daytona 24 hours and still can't win it. So
not my fault. I had the fastest lap of the race.
Congratulations. That is something. That is something. Which isn't usually anything in an endurance race, but I think you need to grab onto those crumbs. We've got a new driver in the series, Mattis Martinson. So brilliant alliteration. Up there in 8th position. He is over 3k. iRacing will be dangerous. He is a privateer, so no team allegiances. As the drivers are putting in their lap times at the moment in qualifying. Currently Redford, I think, not gone. Oh, sorry, Redford is out there, but he hasn't done a competitive lap time yet. So just a bit of a mission at the moment. At the top, they've got about 30 drivers out here tonight.
Yeah, I must say, Martinson might have a little bit of allegiance with a few of the Swedish army out there. He's got Anderson, Olsen out there in Sandstrom. The Swedes, you know, when you're racing a guy in your country, you might get a little bit easy right there. But 20 cars qualifying right now. Some drivers serving a qualifying ban, and you know, Lennart Schnabel. Not the start that he really wants back there, but you know, I'm pretty sure he's done enough practice that he can to get used to this track. Brett Akor, Konstantin Malashev, Christian Engelhardt, Kawali Shani, Brian Hotham, Aaron Smith, Max Chikino, Kevin Zelenstra, and Valashev Potapenko are having to serve those penalties right here. But you know, here at Mosport, as we go around Moss Corner on board a QT Marteau, that double right-hander is so fun. It is one of my favorite corners.
Yeah, it's fun and tricky. I personally, I really don't like it. I just find the second part of it so slow. I'm just like, all right, let's get this done, and then we can get to the nice sweepers. But I do understand those who enjoy it, and it is certainly challenging. I don't know about you, Austin. I don't know if we want to place bets. My record on bets on Apex Racing TV isn't very good, but how many drivers are we expecting to see on camera run wide at that corner as Olsen moves to the top of the standings?
How many cars do we have on grid? 30?
Yeah, about 30.
32? 30? 20.
Okay, yep. Okay, well, I mean, in that case, I'll go 19. You know, I'm not going to go excessively below, but I'll go 19 in that case. So if it's over 19, you win. If it's less than 20, then I win. But yep, remember that, everyone. Sandstrom moves up to 4th place. Still, the time's getting quicker and quicker as the.
Now, is it 20 different drivers, or just 20 times you go over?
Oh, just 20 times. No,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not being that harsh. But
okay.
And this is, we've got to catch it on broadcast. That's the important thing.
Oh, we have to catch on.
Yeah.
Luis, get every off track.
Off track comes up immediately. Right for the lead, but gets it. I think 27th's just gone on.
I think the caveat of we have to catch it on broadcast is making me regret. Well, we didn't raise your money, so we're good.
No, I'm still in a lot of debt to these bets.
You still owe me that $10 from that Formula 3 race at Imola from 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I will pay eventually. I promise. I
Carl
think the
Winkler,
drivers
there's
are
number one.
starting their last lap
Went a little bit wide at Moss Corner and end up in the wall.
Number 1.
Yep, that's the one. Yep,
And we get it on camera as well.
Yep.
Clearly, Louis is trying to help you here, Austin.
Goes wide and goes around. That's an instant at Moss Corner. This is I'm getting like such a bad rep in this series for just like cheering for drivers' devices now. We've hit the Bathurst and it all went downhill. Oh, Chris has said, a little rally driving right there.
Yep, whereas we've got the top 3 all about to complete another lap. So watch out for the top of that time screen. Also Negretti, he's doing very well up there in 5th place, and that's his best qualifying ever in the series. He is also coming to an end of a lap. Rasmussen improves. Marteau doesn't improve. What can Olsen do? He also... well, I think that may have even been an outlap actually for Olsen, so no improvements on that last time round, but those, particularly Marteau and Olsen, up at the top for the entire session pretty much. Anderson and Martinson not improving, so seemingly moving the tyres just kind of already in their range and now just starting to degrade. Reeve though improves right at the end and goes to 14th position overall, and we have a lovely segregation between the pros and the AMs. Of course, that is apart from the pit lane starts, but out of the qualifiers, top 12 pros, and I think the next 8 were all AMs, which is what we love to see. There is Marteau up on pole position. There's Olsen, Rasmussen, Sandstrom, Negretti, Will Redford, second place in the championship. He needs to gain some places. That's not going to be easy around here. There's Henrik Andersson, Mattis Martinson on his debut, Max Bartolozzi, Carl Winkler, Sven Newman, Oscar Christensen is in 12th. Then it's the amateurs, Marcel Leclerc doing really well, Jack Reeve, Jacob Villamore, Ross Fowler, Andy Moore, Michael Kabich, I think also in his first ever race, Mickey Blaze, Alex Wilgenbuck, and then it's the pit lane starters, Kevin Swemstra, Aaron Smith, Max Giacchino, Lennart Schnabel. Smith and Schnabel remember top 2 in the amateur championship. There's Malishev, Engelhardt, Potapenko, Accord, Hotham, and Charney rounding out the top 30 and the entire field. Really tricky track this, Austin, on lap 1 with the cold tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tricky track at the start of this race. Cold tires can get you, well, in a little bit of trouble, but I believe everybody here is really been practicing on the cold tires at the very start. It's a very narrow run up. Turn 2 is always a little bit tricky. Go over that hills of dropping left-hander. Get a little bit wide, caught up into that grass, get really sucked up in there. And then heading into turn 3, there's a very famous clip of a Formula 4 series around here that got, I think, the entire field into an incident. They just went off in that corner.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Expect to see, drivers go absolutely miles off the track. There's a decent amount of kind of space to the barriers, but guaranteed the drivers will still find them. You can see everyone starting from the pit lane. We've got 20 drivers on the grid though. The 5 lights are on. And we are away racing for 25 minutes of action here at Mosport. Really strong start there from Marteau. He's comfortably in the lead into turn 1. Negretti immediately trying to get past Sandstrom. I think having to go up the inside. Sandstrom looks to have got a slightly better exit. However, Marteau hanging on pretty wide for 4th position, and they all stay in the same order. Negretti lost out from all of that in the end, and it's Redford, second place in the championship, trying to make up places.
We got one already around, and that is Sandstrom in the wall.
And he, I think, lost it all by himself right there, and that's mean Redford is up 2 places and Bartolozzi up 3.
I believe he was touched first time heading into Moss Corner. Everybody taking it very nice and tight right now. Tires are very critical, and everybody is just taking that one very easily, but Moss can really catch you out if you aren't looking at it very well as they go into the Andretti straightaway. Start seeing some
Olsen.
moves right now. Olsen and Marteau going side by side. And yeah, that's Olsen around the outside of Marteau, but Marteau gets it back on Olsen. But Olsen is right there. Marteau down onto the inside with the switchback. Here comes Olsen now down to the inside right now. Let's right on board the Alec Attack NHR driver of the 191, Tobias Olsen, as they head into turn 1. Olsen's off in the grass at turn 1. He goes wide. Rasmussen, his teammate, jumps up into P2.
Wow, so Olsen initially off the line, I think, had 5 cars between himself and Redford. There's now nothing to split them. So those two top in the championship, and that's a poor start for him. Hotham and K-Batch have had a problem. I think K-Batch was already off the track. He may have collected Hotham, maybe when trying to rejoin the circuit. So we ride on board with Redford trying to get on the back of Olsen, but I assume Rasmussen and Olsen may change out because Tobias looks very quick so far.
Yeah, Tobias is looking very quick. We know how fast he can be. Just a little small mistake, and his teammate's going to give him that draft, and I'm expecting to give him the spot back. But currently, all of our leaders right now keeping it very clean. And in the well, we still got another race to go, but currently this is the cleanest first 2 laps we've had here at in this series so far.
Yeah, we saw some other instances. I don't know if you could see, or you didn't see some instances, but I saw some on the timing tab just dropped down. Engelhardt had a problem. Oh, also Aaron Smith. I don't know if you could get a replay maybe of Smith's incident earlier on, because of course second place in the amateur championship. Oh, as Olsen, look at that, right on the curve. He's really pushing very hard. Cannot afford another off. Can Tobias Olsen, but yeah, a few others. Marteau, I think you're right. Apologies, Marteau in the lead. But yeah, a few others at the back. You can see Engelhardt now, yeah, 1 minute behind the race leaders, and everyone else behind him having problems.
Here's that replay right here of Aaron Smith. Luis can give us a rundown what's happening.
Well, this... Ooh. So this was on lap 1, I think. But it was later on. 2. So that's... Oh, no, it was lap 1. According to... Yeah, it was lap 1. So he came out of the pits then, Smith. Must have had a brake failure. Or forgot where the track went.
Oh, those are the worst. First thing of sim racing, always make sure your equipment works before you get out on track.
He is remarkably still in the race. Oh my god, come on, Tobias, he's on the track again. He really needs to calm this down because he needs to start thinking about the championship. We were speaking to him a couple of weeks ago and he was saying how he was thinking about the championship, and then we see him driving like this.
That's Jacob Fillmore off at turn 2, just letting everyone by. Actually, no, that was Christian Engelhardt, the car that was being lapped and sitting on the inside of the track as everybody goes through turns 2 and heading into 3. And that is a very peculiar place to track, as Anderson and Giacchino have had an incident. And you know, these two drivers were starting from the pit lane. And this is coming out of turn 1, heading into turn 2 side by side. That's Giacchino down the inside. Then Anderson. Oh, Anderson got into the grass, came across the nose of Giacchino, and both of them are out.
Totally predictable in that one. Outside drive clipping a wheel onto the grass and then spinning into the inside one because they were being quite well mannered and leaving each other a lot of space, and then sort of leaving too much space on that occasion. So disappointing stuff for them. So I'm just going ahead of a chord. For people who are new to the series, a reverse grid of 8 will be applied for race 2. So you want to get into 8th place. Currently Winkler would be on reverse grid pole. He's got a bit of a gap over Christensen, but someone like Zwemstra might fancy his chances because it's surprising that how quick these races can change. And so with 20 minutes to go, he could still get that reverse grid place, even though he's some 12 seconds off the spot at the moment.
Yeah, this is our B format, so 2 25-minute races, a little bit longer for these drivers, and you know, you will start looking after your tires a little bit more than the 15-minute sprints that we are used to. But here we go. Rasmussen on Marteau. Rasmussen going on to the outside. Marteau defending onto the inside. Heading down the Andretti straightaway right now. but it's going to be Marteau down the inside, leading into that first corner, heading into the left-hander. Here comes Rasmussen down onto the inside. Now Rasmussen onto the outside. Marteau's on the inside right now, and it's going to be Marteau leading out Rasmussen. And look who's behind Rasmussen. It's his teammate, Vice Olsen, and Redford.
And Winkler's been taken out, I think. Winkler was off the track. Redford's now onto the grass. But Bartolotto just spun it all by himself in the background.
Well, Bartolotto, yeah, we need to get a replay of the Bartolotto incident right here. Here's Max Bartolotto heading into the final corner just after these guys. If you blinked, you missed it, but got clipped into the grass. Almost comes back on track. You see drivers diving into the grass to avoid him coming across the track right there. But he pulls off the track and toes, and nobody else is involved in that incident. But, oh, man, that is just dagger heart. You're pushing too hard, and then, you just get into the grass and just flick it into the wall. And we've all done it.
Here we go again, and this time Marteau's left the door wide open for Rasmussen, who's already got past him. Will Olsen be able to get past as well? No, he can't, but that is some change, and Marteau really did not defend that one. Maybe trying to pick up the drop on the back marker ahead, but it really did not work out for him. Rasmussen
yeah,
leads.
That's what I was pointing out. I was about to say the back marker ahead, the 242 of Aaron Smith is out there ahead of him, and he will be giving a draft to Rasmussen, Marteau, and Olsen and Redford as they all rocket down turn 2 right now. And Aaron Smith has been very consistent in the AMS Championship. Apex Racing League, we just started this ranking system. And, the cool thing is it tracks drivers in how they place in their class. So, if you could do really well in the AMS Championship, you can still gain points and be ranked up there with the best. And Aaron Smith is actually doing pretty well. I believe his ranking, let me check it right here, is about 27th or something. Yeah, he's ranked 39th right now in all of Apex Racing League. As an AM driver, that is really good.
Yeah, because he's not just racing this series, but also the Porsche Cups, and probably his best success coming in the Formula V Championship, where I think he finished 4th in the overall title and really wasn't far away from the title win as well. So, and racing against some quality drivers, so that probably helps that racing along quite nicely. Cool element there, because that's made possible by the Extreme scoring software, which is what we use and for all the Apex Racing League events. And of course, do check out Extreme Scoring if you organise your own leagues. It is infinitely the best software for points management. You've got so many options, and it's just so easy to use. That's the main benefit of it compared to alternatives. The UI is so fantastic, so many options, and yeah, huge thanks to those guys, as really I thought it would be tricky to overtake around this circuit, anything but. It seems like he can't even defend. Marteau initially lifting out, it seemed, and now he is going for the overtake. He'll get his nose ahead, but here comes Olsen. Olsen looking to go up the inside, trying to go through the middle now as well. Marteau, I don't think he's going to make it round here. They've come very close to contact. It's just going to be the same as what we saw earlier on with Rasmussen going off the inside, and there goes Redford out of nowhere, and he manages to overtake his championship rival. Brilliant move there from Redford. Here's Marteau able to get past. He's on the outside again. Rasmussen holds onto the lead, but Redford came out of nowhere there, and after looking like he was going to lose a lot of points in this race one, he's now ahead of Tobias Olsen.
Yeah, Will Redford sneaking his nose down to the inside of QTR. Marteau flips on down to the inside of turn 3 right now. Will Redford, can he hold it around the outside? He goes a little bit wide. This flirts with disaster right there. Olsen sneaks past Redford right now. And Marteau's looking down to the inside of Rasmussen right now. They're going to be side by side heading into Moss corner. Marteau is set up, lined up for an opportunity right there, but he's not going to have that chance. He's going to line himself up for a shot through Andretti Hairpin. But what a attack by Redford right there to get ahead of Olsen. But Olsen on the rebound play to get back on Redford after Redford got a little bit over his head right now. And look at it, Marteau with the speed of Blue Hornets or Thunderbolts right there, just blowing past Rasmussen. as Marteau round the outside. And now down to the inside. They're going to be side by side. They were side by side last time. Marteau out around the outside. Rasmussen got his nose in there. There's going to be sideways off the exit. Marteau's got pushed a little bit wide as Olsen trying to get onto the inside of Marteau, but Marteau's on around the outside of Rasmussen as they head into turbo. Marteau getting out onto the curbing right there. Rasmussen holding off Marteau. Round the outside is Tobias Olsen up into P2.
Brilliant positioning there from the teammates, and now Olsen can look up ahead. There goes Redford up the inside. I think Rato is going to have to lift out of it in order to avoid the grass. So good work there, and Marteau goes from leading to 4th in just a matter of corners. Brilliant racing between these guys, and it's inviting Justin Negretti and Mattis Martinson to catch up to the rear of these drivers, and surely the swap will be able to take place. So Redford knows he has to try to get past Olsen right here, otherwise Rasmussen may try to block him deliberately. In fact, Rasmussen had an excellent Mosport, was able to pull away a little bit, but there's just no resisting this slipstream as they go 3 wide for the lead. Redford on the outside, surely he can do nothing round there. He's going to have to take such a long run. He's having to turn out to the corner slightly. They both get past Rasmussen. Redford though up the inside. That's one of the moves of the season right there. I thought he had no chance, but from all the way down in 6th position, 2nd place in the championship, moves up to the lead of this race.
3 wide round the outside. Will Redford leads this race in the background. That's Marteau getting off the track right there. Rasmussen was the one that blinked first. Olsen was trying to race with his championship rival, but Will Redford, heading out of last week, was ranked at #1 in Apex Racing League. His ranking has fallen down to #2, and he can really save face right here and retake that #1 spot with 2 races to go. And absolutely fantastic drive from the top 2 drivers in Apex Racing League right now.
Redford, he's almost getting away. I really thought he didn't have the pace of these guys tonight, but his race pace has been absolutely superb. But it seems like the draft is so powerful that it's going to be very tricky for him to get away unless the teammates start battling one another. Rasmussen knows it's just smart to stay behind. By the way, just an update on the amateur category. Reeve in a comfortable top place. Look at that, he's some 9 seconds ahead of Russ Fowler at the moment. Schnabel trying to move his way up. He's up into 4th and look like he's going to extend his championship lead at the moment. And also Zwemstra just moving his way up as Schnabel's just got past Moore, in fact, up into the podium places, and will soon be past Fowler, I think, as well. But this front battle, it could come to a climax at any point. And of course, if one of these guys fell off the circuit, hit the wall, it would be so costly. It would wreck their race too. So it's fantastic to see this aggressive driving, but they've got to be aware that, especially for the championship contenders, a crash would be absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, a crash would be absolutely horrendous right here.
Oh, he slides. Redford's wide.
That's 2. Moss corner right there.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Dang it. He said he goes wide, so I thought I could sneak one in there.
Oh, here comes Rasmussen. He's got the run, but his teammate blocks him off. Now Marteau with insane space. Has he got anywhere to go? I don't think he does. Olsen, though, I think is going to be able to get back past, but this is where Redford was able to get past earlier on from a similar position. This time, though, Olsen gets ahead, and an unforced error. Well, you can argue it was a forced error there from Redford at Moss Corner. Left him vulnerable. We've still got another 10 minutes of this to go, though, and now we've got a 5-car battle because Negretti is right with these drivers.
Yeah, Negretti joining in. You see Marteau, well, mowing the lawn off the exit right there, getting up a little bit of grass and falling off the back of Rasmussen right now. Will Redford behind his championship rival Tobias Olsen heading into turn 2. And these 5 cars are putting on an absolutely amazing show up here at the front. The Andretti straightaway. Now, some of us thought that it wouldn't be long enough to get a good draft and slingshot their way in there. In the higher downforce and higher speed cars, that is the case, but in these smaller cars with a good downforce in there, these like the F3s and Indy Pros, you can really get a good slingshot and run up through there, and that's what we're seeing here today. Sandstrom and Jack Reeve have had an incident. Reeves off the track, our M leader, as that's Redford looking around the outside of Olsen, but it's not going to be his opportunity right there. Not going to be able to dance in the sunshine of the lead once more. 10 minutes remain here at Mosport for the Apex Racing Academy VRS Formula 3 Super Series.
Let's
what
say here
happened,
was
Jack
what happened. Oh,
Reeve.
here's number 2.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh, that's just the worst thing. You get onto the grass, and then he's tried to kind of not lose too much time,
Is that
but he's
3?
lost the car. And
Does it combine?
no, I mean, come on, Austin, come on. I know
Hey.
you're desperate, but there's no need to talk
Hey, I'm
silly
going through the
nonsense.
rule book here. I'm just.
And I think Schnabel is now going to be able to get past Reeve. Oh man, it's
Oh,
tricky
there's
to tell
4.
what's good to watch. As
That
yeah,
is
you're
another
right.
car going wide and right in
That's
front
Lotta.
of Redford. That is one of the 3D Rapid cars.
That's Lotta.
Yes, Max Bartolota, who was just off at Moss. I believe that's 3.
It is. Yep.
All right.
It's allowed Olsen to get away a bit now.
Yeah.
Redford's got to put in
He
some
blocked,
mega tires if
he
he's going to
blocked
catch up.
Redford. Kind of blocked Redford off the exit. It was just staying in the middle of the track, and everybody kind of got bunched up behind him.
Mark Redford letting us know much more interesting this than the boring endurance racing, which I think I agree with. I don't watch the 24 hours. Watch this instead. This is much more fun. Hopefully these top 4 can kind of move back together a bit. We're at the threat of kind of forming into 2 pairs because Rasmussen is now having to look in his mirrors at Kai Thiago Mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Kabali Chani, he has some fans in the chat. He's actually in the chat right now. Quote, every lap I'm taking a huge gap of air. This race is almost unbelievable. It's more fun to watch than to drive at this point. And, you know, you're in an amazing, you're witnessing something amazing when you get stuff like that from drivers in the race, or who were originally in the race and just like, I'm just gonna watch. And look at the background, Marteau and Rasmussen going side by side. Redford's not going to be able to catch up to Olsen, but look how close he is. He's on that gearbox. Marteau's able to swing ahead of Rasmussen back into 3rd place right there. And Schnabel takes the AM lead of Jack Reeve.
Yeah, that's been coming for a few laps ever since Reeve's mistake. It seemed quite inevitable that Schnabel would get past. Now actually all those drivers, top 5 in the amateur category, all in a line now. So really good battling there with Schnabel at the front of it. Accord back in 5th position. So could still change around both classes. Still got another 7 minutes of this to go on. Action-packed race has been at Mosport so far.
Yeah, absolutely action-packed and very... I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it. I've cursed an entire field before. I'm not saying it.
Yep, don't say it. I know what you're going to say, but don't say it.
Very nice racing there. We got a replay coming up there, brought to you by SDK Gaming. SDK Gaming provides some of the best live timing things, and you know, some of the best transparent logos that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, you really shouldn't have promoted them, Austin, as we have a slight glitch with the timing. We may just have to restart it.
It is a nice logo.
It is a good logo, albeit it is copied by a lot of other companies, unfortunately. There's a certain rental car hire company in the UK which has pretty much the exact same logo, which is a little bit of the shame.
Is it a Porsche Cayman GT4?
You know what? I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Pascal Higlin, the designer of SDK Gaming.
It looks like a Porsche GT4.
So apologies
as
for...
Luis takes a shotgun to a computer. Welcome to Apex Racing TV Radio. Right now, Tobias Olsen and Will Redford battling out for the lead right now. Olsen gets ahead of Redford, but Redford's fighting back on Tobias Olsen as they have a fight heading through the final corner, and still Redford behind it, Tobias Olsen, but Redford off the attack down to the inside. So side by side, Tobias Olsen and Will Redford down to the inside, heading up into turn 1. Will Redford is up there. He gets ahead of the nose. Slide job across the nose right there. Will Redford into the lead. Tobias Olsen gets right back onto the gearbox right there. Almost gets into almost hits him right now. And here comes back Thiago Marteau on the attack heading into turn 3.
It just seems impossible to defend around this place, doesn't it? And now we've got, Marteau right with these guys. Rasmussen coming as well. Martinson's been able to get past Negretti. So good work there, albeit Winkler and Newman, of course, Sim Racing are catching up to those guys. So apologies to everyone who we haven't shown in this race. But honestly, this lead battle has been so good. It's been very tricky to kind of pull away from it. Hopefully, maybe in race 2, maybe there'll be slightly less going on at the front. As here comes Olsen. Once again, he's going to be well alongside. I'm almost certain he'll have his nose ahead by the time they get into the S's. But it's so tricky to make it around the outside. It seems like this is where Redford is really strong. And once again, just maybe hesitating on the turn and slightly having to make Olsen turn out himself and gets ahead. Meanwhile, Moore has had a problem. Moore is doing really well, I think, up in 4th place in the amateurs.
Moore, he's off at
17.
That will be Moss corner for Andy Moore right there. And I think he's had another issue.
Will this be number 4?
It would be number 4. As it's in half speed right there. As here we go. And yep, this is number 4. 5. Are we on 5? Oh, he's lost it on the entry. Got into the grass on the entry. Oof, into the wall.
Yeah, he's had to toe back. That's more.
Yeah, so toe back right there. Back to our fight for the lead. Redford pulling it away from Olsen through Moss corner, and Olsen's got a half a second gap to Redford. He's going to be under pressure from Marteau. I think Marteau might be side by side with Olsen right there. And Olsen, he's in the fight for the championship, but you know, Marteau could be a complete spanner in the works right here if he challenges Olsen in these final few minutes, because Thiago Marteau, he is, he's down in the points, but, you know, he still loves to race, and no matter who's racing for the championship, Marteau is going to race you.
Yeah, of course, the 2-time defending champion is Thiago Marteau, one of the most successful drivers of all time in Apex Racing League. So he is more than capable of keeping up with these guys. And had he not missed round 1 of the championship as well, he was a bit of a late entry. He could have well been in this championship fight as well with these guys. But it was just incredible. Olsen half a second behind coming out of Moss. And then by the time he gets to turn 1, he is right behind. And so as long as he's within sorts of maybe 3.5, 4 tenths coming out of Moss corner, he will be well alongside. And that's a really good exit wide for Redford. That's going to compromise his exit. And Olsen's going to have another opportunity. They're going to have one more lap to go after this.
I believe there was Alex Rogenbuck. That was a car stuck on the outside 5 right there. As Tobias Olsen in the draft, and oh, he is locked in, and oh, he almost looked down to the inside right there. There's a little bit hesitation looking on where he wanted to go, and I think Tobias Olsen is waiting for that white flag opportunity. He knows he can make it, and I feel like he's just waiting now. He knows that he can go, and the white flag is in the air. It's go time. White flag. One last lap to go here at Mosport. Redford and Olsen and Marteau, your top 3. They're running into a little bit of traffic right here. They do have a lap car ahead of them as they head down up turn 2. Marteau, he's got the catbird seat. He's got the best seat in the house, so let's ride on board with him as they fly through what I like to call graveyard corner right there, as it was a massive calamity. There's that lap car defending on the... Oh! Olsen almost clips him, trying to get an advantage on Redford as they head one last time to Moss corner for the last time of race number 1. Marteau's getting a good charge right now. Now's the drag race down the Andretti straightaway. Olsen and Redford nose to gearbox right now, defending all the way down to the inside. Olsen being forced to go out wide. Here comes Olsen. Olsen has got the lead down the Andretti straightaway. Here comes Marteau as well. Olsen putting a little bit of elbows out racing. He's got the car length advantage heading into that long right-hander. Redford looking down to the inside, and Olsen has cleared him with 2 to go, but Redford's going to fight back. He's got 1 corner. Redford is going to send it. No, he is not, and it's going to be Tobias Olsen taking race number 1, followed by Will Redford and Thiago Marteau just slightly behind him in 1, 2, and 3. Great first race finish right here.
What a race. What a race for Olsen. Some incredible overtakes being pulled off. Newman was able to get past Christensen, I think, on that last lap. Zwemstra comes back to 10th. It'll be Christensen on pole position as well, crucially. Schnabel from the pits wins in the amateur category, and that's a huge step towards the championship as well. Ryu finishes in 12th. They all kind of separated out. I don't know what happened to Fowler near the end there, but he seemed to drop back a bit. Potsapenko in 14th, and the rest coming across the line as well. But yeah, that will be one of Olsen's most satisfying victories ever, because I think it was Olsen who won race 2 at Bathurst, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that was one of the best drives he's ever produced. I think that probably eclipses it there. It would be great to have an interview with him later on, because he had to fight so hard. And I think you were right, Austin. I think he was waiting for a while, because that final lap was perfection for him to get into that race winning position.
Yeah, I saw him with 2 laps to go. He actually lifted. He didn't want that push into the final round, because he knew that draft to be right there. So he just waited for his time. And then when he saw it, he launched that missile, and, well, he cleared the car by an entire car length right there. And that was a hair-raising final round. And what a round one. What a race one.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. I think
We're going to have to create a new class for the top racers called Pro Max, because, wow. we might do that.
They were insane, and yeah, they are the best of the best. I mean, it's fantastic how good a quality we have a field here in this championship. I think we might be able to go through your final results in for the race from race 1 with of course that brilliant drive from Tobias Olsen in the end, bringing him the race victory.
Yeah, top 3 drivers, it all ranked in the top 25 of Apex Racing League. Tobias Olsen, Wolf Redford, Q Thiago Marteau, 1, 2, and 3. They're followed by Nicholas Rasmussen and Mattis Martinson in their first race. So they're taking home a top 5, followed by Justin DeGret, Sven Newman, Oscar Christensen, Carl Winkler, and Kevin Swemster at the end of the pro grid in 10th place. They're followed by Lennart Schnabel, the AMP championship leader, having a much better race than they had at Barcelona. They're going to be finishing in 11th, followed by Jack Reef, Russell Fowler, Velashev Potapenko, Mickey Bliles, Brett Accord, Kostas Malashev, and Jacob Fillmore in 18th place. Behind them is Michael Guacci, Max Bartolotta, Christian Engelhardt, Andy Moore, Henrik Anderson, Marcel Leclerc, Max Chiquino, Aaron Smith, Alex Rogenbuck, and Brian Hotham in 28th. Jesper Sandstrom, we saw him have that incident near the start. Kamali Ochani, he's sitting in the chat with us, and, you know, he just decided to sip his tea and enjoy this race.
Yeah, well, hopefully Cambrali will be back out there for race 2. Hopefully we have as good a race for race 2 as we had in race 1. We'll quickly take this opportunity to thanks Apex Racing Academy, one of the sponsors for the series, one of the title sponsors for this series. In fact, Apex Racing Academy with 29 data packs available, so that's data packs for 29 different cars on the iRacing service, including these F3 cars as well. And those data packs include setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, and also it is integrated with VRS. Huge thanks to Apex Racing Academy and SDK Gaming for providing some prizes for the drivers. The top drivers in each of the championship will get, I think, a 1-year subscription to one of those subscriptions of their choice, which I think is a fantastic prize. And also thanks to Apex Racing Academy for giving all of these drivers a free 1-month subscription to Apex Racing Academy just for signing up to the series. So it's quite a good thing to sign up to this championship. You get those subscriptions, and it does help the drivers kind of get up to speed nice and quick. So huge thanks to them, and do make sure to check out apexracingac.com. A link is in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're curious about Apex Racing Academy, I can highly vouch for it. It's really improved my driving out there on track. The setups are fantastic. And, you know, if something in the setup just feels weird, the coaches are always there to talk you through it and how they approached the setup process. If you're curious about IndyCars, the IndyCar community on there is absolutely fantastic. I know the GT community there is always active in talking. If you like IMSA, it's there. The single-seater series all the way up to the Mercedes F1 is highly well put together and very good on the strategy calls, even though I the main strategy call in the Mercedes, if you ever ran it, is just mediums and go.
I made that mistake when.
Oh, you just
I put softs for a race. To be fair, that was the least of my problems. But I think I was also eating up the tyres. I think they were down to about 30% on the softs after about 10 laps. And so I had to come in. It was a really bad race, and I must say, I don't know about you, Austin, I'm not actually a big fan of the car. But apparently that's a bit of a crime to say that.
I would say Boner, my tires are gone, but, you know, since it's Apex, I would have to say Alex, my tires are gone.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alex Simpson.
He watches all the streams. I'm sure, I'm sure he'll be watching out. Well, after we've nervously laughed as we hope that we don't get fired from Apex, we advance over to race 2, and it is the top 8 inverted. So Christensen on pole, then it's Newman, and really I think it's quite good. Well, to be fair, I feel bad for Winkler because he was very close. He was in 8th place for pretty much from turn 2 to the penultimate corner, and in the end lost out to Christensen. So Oscar's on pole, Winkler down in 9th. Zwemstra, watch out for him in 10th, and honestly, I think anyone from the top 10 could win this race, Austin.
Anyone seriously can, but the top 4 that were really the top 4 from last race are going to be an absolute missile through the field, and these opening laps are going to get pretty spicy over here, and I hope you guys like Sriracha because they are going to be some spicy sauce right now.
Got a couple more minutes for the drivers to get onto the grid. I think a couple of drivers not on the grid so far, maybe not taking
just
part.
one.
I think, Cambrali wanting to view it instead, and I think
they aren't feeling that well, as they let us know in chat. Well, Chani, I hope you're ready to enjoy the show. It's 5 red lights and green here at Mosport for race number 2 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series. That's a good start from our leaders right there. Christian, Newman, Negret, Rasson, Reffer, Martinson, Marteau, and Olsen are top 8. Right there, a little bit of 3-wide action already as Marteau's trying to make their way around to the outside right behind Will Reffer and Rasmussen already up into 5th place. Reffer looking around the outside of Rasmussen already on cold tires, streaking it. Martinson is around and into the wall at Graveyard. Marteau falling back just a little bit, challenging with Reffer heading into Moss corner for the first time of race number 2. You see Marteau and Reffer, both of them really pushing each other. Olsen just stuck back there in 8th place. Carl Winkler's fallen down to 8th as our 3 previous race podium sitters were just absolutely just trouncing the field right now off the line. And they just jumped on Carl Winkler.
All change for the lead. I think Newman's going to be able to get past Christensen here, or is he? Christensen really holding on firm. Newman up the inside. Contact. I think it was netcode. I think it was netcode contact. And now there's more contact as well. That's Rasmussen moving up. Negretti, is he off the circuit? I think he's just very slow there. So Negretti loses a bunch of positions. So now got Newman leading the way. Rasmussen, Redford, Marteau, and Olsen all making their way through. Negretti now falls to the back of that train, and quite a few changes in these early stages. Wormstrip unable to make much of a progress, and there was a couple of incidents as well, so then we can chalk up the Moss corner thing to probably about 8. So we've seen that there were a few cars off, but Lotta is the next one up. I think he went off at turn 2.
Yeah, Max Bartolotta also having a little bit of off as we head our second time to Moss corner. Big leads to Newman and Rasmussen. A little bit of contact, net code maybe involved right there, but look who's behind Rasmussen. It's Will Redford. Rasmussen's probably got looking back and was like, wait, how did you do that in 2 laps? Well, here is Will Redford going for P2 in 2 laps, and Marteau is right there with them, looking on the outside, trying to make it 3 wide. It's not going to happen right there. Marteau's going to have to bide his time. Redford's out to the inside, almost a little bit of contact right there with Rasmussen, but Redford up back into 2nd place. He's definitely looking for a good points haul right now on Olsen. Olsen down into 5th. Look at Schnabel up into 6th place.
He's just got past Negretti, who was very strong in race 1, so really strong stuff there from Schnabel. Remember, he was out of position in race 1. We don't really know what his pace is like because he started from the pits. but he is battling with the front runners at the moment. So amazing stuff from him. If they keep on fighting ahead of him, he could genuinely be in this lead pack to the end of the race. So Newman just needs these guys to fight for 23 minutes, ideally. I don't think he's going to have much of a response once they do really get hold of that draft. But man, this is so competitive at the moment in this top 5. So we'll try to get through there. I think Redford's going to be vulnerable again here from Rasmussen. They're all running kind of similar draft, and so none of them can really get away down the straights.
Yeah, none of them can really gain. None of them can really attack when they're all getting affected by the draft of the car ahead. Rasmussen on Redford. Rasmussen getting around the outside just slightly. Redford still on the inside. We saw this last race. Redford loves this line, and he's able to hold it around the inside, then around the outside, then back down to the inside again. Redford stays in second place, and they actually lost a little bit of time to Newman up ahead. Sven Newman, you know, he's been quiet for most of this season, but he's really highly ranked up there. Sven Newman currently ranked 28th in all of Apex Racing League, as Marteau gets out a little bit wide ahead of Tobias Olsen. Olsen ranked number 2. He's definitely looking on an attack on Will Redford, but he's back down there in 5th. This will be a big loss in the points for Tobias Olsen if it stays like this. And he needs to get a little bit argy-bargy if he wants to catch up to his championship rival and regain his points. He got the race 1 win, and that will help him a little bit, but, you know, he's shooting himself in the foot if he's not going to be finishing side by side with Redford right there. And also look behind him, Schnabel, Lennart Schnabel, ranked 29th. This is going to be amazing for his ranking right there. And here we go, Rasmussen looking on to the outside of Redford. Marteau is there as well. Marteau in the gearbox behind Rasmussen. He backs off right there. Rasmussen, Redford, side by side. Redford round the outside. Now back to the inside. The final turn complex. And it's going to be Redford P2. Marteau sneaks it down to the inside on Rasmussen. Marteau, fantastic move right there. He knew what he wanted to do, and he just snuck it by right there ahead of Rasmussen, and Tobias Olsen still in 5th place.
Yeah, how much will Rasmussen fight? I think they should all be able to kind of catch up to one another still. There's still no big gaps. Still, Marteau can kind of follow Redford in behind us. Olsen has to get out of the Thoughtsville midway through turn 3. This pack going all the way down to 9th place. We basically got 2nd down to 9th, all in a long train at the moment, heading into Canada Corner. And Newman, despite all that fighting, unable to really extend that gap, still sitting at around 9/10 of a second. Shouts out, by the way, to Jesper Sandstrom. He's up 14 places, Hotham up 10 places, also Bart Slotter up 8 places despite that off for him earlier on, as the teammates probably going to do a swap here. Olsen round the outside of Rasmussen. Rasmussen currently has that draft effect, but he lifts out of it a bit early, and Olsen can set his sights on the podium places.
Yeah, Olsen hunting down Marteau, as Marteau and Redford are hunting down Sven Newman. With that, with them not fighting up front anymore, they've closed that gap down from 1 second to half a second that time by. And as they continue on, Schnabel has actually joined this fight just slightly. Heck, the top 10 are pretty much in one giant line right now.
Yeah, top 9 separated by 3.4 seconds. There they are. Snake slaloming through these really long radius corners here at Mosport. Fantastic to see. And even Reeve, yeah, Reeve lost a little bit of time in that last. Well, Reeve was faster than, so Newman was the slowest man in the top 10 on that last time round, and that's why the gap's down to 0.3 of a second. He is going to be a sitting duck, not just to Redford. Marteau, I think, might be able to make his way past as well.
We're only 6 minutes into this race, and it feels like we've been going for an entire race distance with the excitement we have seen right now so far this race. Redford all the way on the gearbox, looking onto the outside of the Andretti straightaway. Will Redford looking for the lead on Sven Newman. Newman down the inside. Redford around the outside. They almost touch on entry. Redford holding around the outside. He can get it onto the inside, but he lost control. Swung out wide, but he's actually blocked off the inside right there. Sven Newman almost gets in the back of him. He had to check up just a little bit. Marteau is in there as well. Newman and Redford racing it into turn 1 after a little mistake by Redford. After making the corner work for him, it's not going to work right there. Redford defending onto the inside right now. Marteau's looking a little bit aggressive. Redford also looking aggressive. He's going for that inside line, heading up through turn 2. Gets the line, and Sven Newman goes flying into the wall.
And has Redford got damage from that one? Marteau's now won. This really might open up.
Marteau's around!
Marteau's around. He dipped a wheel onto the grass. And Olsen is now up into second place. And Schnabel moves up into third position in all of that. So Redford, maybe that was his fault for the contact. I'm not quite sure. But Slots has also had an incident out there after being able to take advantage. So we've now got the top 7 separated by less than 2 seconds. Redford seemingly has got away without damage. It was square onto the tyre. Let's see, did he move across on Newman, or could Newman have left a bit more space?
Well, you see Newman defending in the middle line as Redford. Oh, he hit that curve. There's a bump on the inside of turn 2. He's hit that bump. His car got pushed out wide right there. He tried to sneak it down there, and the track said, nah, sir. Kind of pushed him out wide, and Sven Newman is obviously going to be a little bit heated off of that. And you can see that from Marteau's perspective. He took that opportunity, went around the outside, big Senderuni around the outside, but unfortunately just a little bit too much on there. Got into the grass, locked up the brakes, didn't get back across the track, and that's allowed Leonard Schnabel, who is driving a LMP2 earlier today in the Daytona 24 Hours, and the amateur championship leader, to be in third place. What timeline are we in?
Yeah, this is crazy. He just needs to hope that the top 2 now start fighting, which, based on race 1, they will do. Redford and Olsen seem to be quite obsessed, albeit Olsen did wait a while, didn't he? But I mean, most of the race he was fighting with him, wasn't he? So if they do fight, then Schnabel will stay with them and might be the first one to pick up the pieces from any collision. This time I think Olsen was lifting off down the straight, so just staying behind Redford. But yeah, Schnabel's got a chance here. Don't count out...
Olsen is just locking himself into that.
Swemstra's
had an incident. Swemstra is off, and that's him in the background. He is out of this race. Swemstra in the final corners, getting into an incident with Negretti. And this is what happened. Swemstra looks around the outside right here. Negretti in the 166 on his inside. Swemstra going wide, and oh, they make contact right there. Big, little bit of a tap right there. Swemstra getting caught in the grass, so that's a very scary part. He's not out of this race completely. His car looks pretty fine. But our top 4, Redford, Olsen, Schnabel, and Rasmussen. Cavalio Chani. Well, I know I said he was going to enjoy a little bit of tea, just sit back, relax. I think he's chugged the tea and gone back for more to calm down. And oh, Schnabel goes around in Ma's corner. And look, Jack Reeve has overtaken the AM lead. Is that 9?
Yeah, that's what I count at least. It was offline. Oh, he was just a bit... I think he'd gone wide and thought, oh, I got to keep up with these guys. So he buried the throttle despite the fact he was offline and lost the car. That's a shame. Yeah, he's still got a chance at the amateur win.
Yeah, he's still got a chance at the amateur win. As ahead of him is Jack Reed behind Marteau right there. But Jack Reed, this is a fantastic race by him today.
Good work from Winkler, by the way, because he was super unlucky to only finish 9th in race 1. I think lost 8th on like the last lap of the race. He's actually up 4 places so far in 5th. He's out. Oh, he has got the draft from Negretti, but I don't think he's going to be fighting for the win. I think if he had the draft, he'd be able to keep up with the top guys, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to them from here. As Redford's very close to Olsen at the moment. I don't know if that's going to be a change. 0.3 of a second coming out of Moss corner is usually close enough to attempt to move. Here we go. Redford has been the one who's led on the most part in race 1, and then in this race 2 as well. He seems to be the more eager to get ahead. And Olsen, will he fight this one? He is going to fight this one. But no, Redford stays ahead.
He backed off, Olsen. Olsen, he knows how to win around here. When this goes into the final 5 minutes, I think Redford and Olsen might have a little bit of a chess match to see who is going to be in second heading into the final 5 minutes and who's going to stay right there. And I will not be surprised if I see Rasmussen catch up to them and join this fight, because these two are purposely trying to get second place to get that draft. And look at Olsen dropping back away from Redford. Oh. What has happened to Olsen?
That's almost out of draft range. Oh, this isn't a hardware problem, is it? This would be a shame.
No,
Wow, I think
this
he's
is
out of draft range, and now he's going to have to make it up the time.
he's doing what he's doing what I'm saying. He's preventing Redford from getting back behind him and them locking up heading into the final 5 minutes and preventing Redford from tactically putting himself in second place. So he decides to put himself back just a little bit to where his teammate is, unless he has damage, but I don't see any damage on that car. Wait. Left side floor looks clear. What about the right side? Does he have floor damage?
He seemed to only lose time through one corner, so I think he's alright with damage. I don't think it's a tactics thing, because he wouldn't have dropped that far back, because now he's out of the draft, and Redford may go off and win this race from here. Winkler, by the way, just got past Negretti. Don't know if you get a replay of that one for fourth place. But I think it was just a mistake there from Olsen through turn 2.
Yeah, there might have been. He might have missed a gear right there. I am not sure. That is bizarre. But everything looks fine. Here's Carl Winkler on the back of Justin Negret, heading into the Andretti hairpin. Nope, not the Andretti straightaway. What am I talking about? The Andretti. We're not at Laguna Seca. But Carl Winkler around the outside, up into P4.
Yeah, will Negretti be able to keep up? He's not that far behind, is he, Winkler? He's got good pace. He's not within draft range of Rasmussen. Redford and Olsen maintaining that 1.3. What Olsen needs is to get that gap down to 9/10. If you get it down to 9/10 going on to the Andretti straight, that'll be 3/10 straight away gone. You know, he just needs to get within that draft, but it's going to be so much effort to just gain that half a second. You can see 2 1,000ths of a second, and they're much faster than everyone else. Well, I say that much, so he just beat the pair of them, but they are absolutely hot lapping right now. Olsen needs something special here, and in fact on the first sector of this lap, gap increasing a bit.
Sector 1 for Olsen.
Ooh, V.
1:10 as
he was off track for a moment, but I think he's lost about half a second, but he's alright.
Yeah, well, that 1/10 gain is 4/10 loss. It's you take a step forward and you take 3 steps back right there. And Redford getting draft help of the last car ahead of him. That sector gain, he got down to 1.1, I believe. It's now up to 1.5. This is a horrible lap for Tobias Olsen, and definitely not what he wants to see happening ahead of him.
Just making his way up to the order.
For 10th. Jinx.
Yeah, I think he was down to about 16th at one point, so he's just been able to pick them off one by one. Next up, Sandstrom must be so frustrating for Zwemstra, because he could have genuinely fought for this race win, because he got himself in a good position. Remember, was Negretti range, would probably have been P4 right now, so maybe not fighting for the win, but I think top 3 would have been possible for him. He's one of the highest I-rated drivers on the grid. Barcelot's also terrific driver, of course. Blazon Fowler. Fowler had a very good race 1, but he seemingly has had a pot, and Leclerc as well. I think that's 2 different incidents. I think Leclerc had an off all by himself.
Yeah, I believe Leclerc is really had a little small incident right there. We got another incident, a big crash. Marcel Leclerc has another incident as we hop into the replay, and oh my gosh!
So it was all the same incident. You can see the very slow car just trying to make his way through.
Did he get back on the? Did he Colin McRae this? Is he still driving right now? Here's that replay. Car loses in front of it, just tries to snipe it back, and then it just gives. Well, turtled right there, and somehow landed back on his wheels. I think he kept driving for a moment, and then realized that a suspension. Oh my god. Carl Winkler has had an incident. Carl Winkler's off the track.
Oh, is this going to be number 10? No, different part of that.
This is turn 2. Carl
he
Winkler.
The wheel onto the grass. No, he's lost it all by himself. Overcorrection.
Oversteer.
And that's where his teammate, of course, crashed. Sven Newman. So lots of
buried
sim
into
racing
the wall.
body parts down there.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of body work being left down there from today, and I can tell you it's going to be a hefty bill for them. And they're desperately looking over to the series finale next week and put this one behind them.
Smith off the track.
Oh,
Oh, that's not what Smith needed.
Oh, I think this is also turn 2. It is at turn 2, heading to turn 3.
Oh, this is where he went off earlier on, wasn't it?
Smith never went off here yet, and he's just dipped the wheel just like Marteau did, and taps the wall and breaks off the suspension right there. Oh no, Aaron Smith, championship charger to Schnabel, and you know, after a poor race 1, this is definitely not what he wants, and Aaron Smith's going to fall down even more, giving more points to Schnabel, and I feel like that might give Smith's second place to someone else after a fantastic run in Barcelona and other races as well.
Yeah, of course, third place is Reeve, and now Reeve's off, and that is number 10.
Yep, that's 10.
And it means that Schnabel takes back the lead, so all of a sudden, everyone is going off the track. It was
Who dumped
Reeve.
oil slick onto the track? Is this the, did it hit 2 a.m. at some part of the world, and did iRacing just implement the rain?
That's the classic. That's the classic Mosport mistake there, or Mosport mistake, sorry.
Absolutely,
Then if we could get the track temperature up on screen, like the details of the
It's
event.
a little bit spicy hot right there. 37 degrees track temperature, 52% humidity, 25 degrees the air temperature right now of a 10-kilometer-an-hour wind heading about westward, and that is a rear. What would that be? A rear tailwind heading into Moss Corner. That's the word.
That's
tailwind.
probably not what you want, is it?
Yeah, it's just heading off the exit though, so you're going slow already. It's not the one that's really slowing it down, but it will be giving you a bit of a nasty crosswind. But 10 kilometers an hour is not that fast, but it is going to be there, and the car will feel a little bit lighter than it should. But it's not going to be earth-shattering like that.
So 1.2 seconds is now the gap in the lead. So Olsen bringing it down a bit, where he lost 1/10 on that last lap. Now he gains 1.5 tenths on this lap. So that was one of Olsen's best laps of the race there.
Also, Marteau's back and forth. Just wanted to say that after...
Oh, Redford's off! Redford's off! He's done it again! He's done it again! Oh, he's done it so many times this season. He did it at Spa. He did it at Red Bull Ring. And he's done it at Mosport, and it could be a mistake that costs him the championship as well.
He's not
he
the
lost
only
the
one.
rear tyres.
We need to switch to Lennart Schnabel in this same replay. Both championship leaders, championship rivals, have had an incident, and Lennart Schnabel in the same corner goes off, and he is out of the race into the wall. Big crash for the amateur championship leader, and it is blown wide open here late in the race. Jack Reeve is off as well. Jack Reeve is off in the amateur lead, and he falls back down to 9th, and that's at Moss Corner. That's 11. Marteau and Rasmussen side by side. Marteau down to the inside for second place. But look at Rasmussen fighting it back down to the inside. Marteau goes on a little bit wide. Big snap oversteer by Marteau. Marteau finds the smallest gap, goes through it. Marteau P2. What a recovery drive Thiago Marteau is seeing right here. Olsen 5 seconds in the lead, will not be caught unless something extremely unfortunate happens for him. But Marteau has just had an absolute fantastic recovery drive after fighting for the lead, getting off into the grass, falling way down the field, and then sneaking his way back into 4th place. It all fires off ahead of him, and he's back into 2nd.
And somehow Redford didn't take a tyre off his car, so he's still running fine. He's had 2 big bits of contact. Maybe because he collided with Newman earlier on as well. So Redford could still get P2. He'd lose points in both races to Olsen, and the championship would be very unlikely for him with
Moss.
2 races to go. Here
Jack
was what
Reeve.
happened to Reeve then from the
11.
lead. And that was Bart Slotzer just taking advantage of that. But he is still in the lead.
Yeah,
this
he's
week.
still in the lead, and this is a big.
Oh,
That's
so
Marteau
right
off the
into
track.
wall.
Marteau right ahead of Redford. Redford back into third.
Oh, he was pushing it so hard through the penultimate corner. You want to
Rasmussen's
drive
on
it in
his
deep to
inside.
get the inside.
Oh,
I
he
don't
just
think there was
overshot it.
contact, was there? Or
That's
was it
just
neck
that
code?
was just he just overshot it.
Really overshot
There was
it,
no
didn't he?
contact. There was no contact. And Will Redford, his race in championship is still alive. He's sitting in third place right now, behind the teammate to Tobias Olsen, Nicholas Rasmussen. In second place, this could be another 1-2 for Redford and Olsen, keeping that championship fight alive in the pros, but also the championship fight in the AMs. Well, the series leader, Schnabel, is down into 18th. Jack Reeve is sitting in 8th, and this will put Jack Reeve, now he's 49 points behind Aaron Smith in third place. I believe this will put Jack Reeve up into second place and putting him at a chance to reach Lennart Schnabel at the end of the season with a 3-car amateur fight for the win. But currently in our pro standings, Redford and Olsen right now are having an absolutely fantastic fight. But Redford, you know, after getting sniped by Olsen in race 1, the championship leader, that gap is growing even bigger right there, and it's already at 48 points between these two. And the series finale will be a 3-race series as well.
Yeah, and they're the most random. 2 reverse grids, of course, can easily go wrong with you, especially if you have a bad race 1. It can be really tricky to get up into those places for the other 2 races. So Redford straight away pulling away from Rasmussen, just showing off the pace they had. He had the pace to win, but he has done it this before. Red Bull Ring, I think, second race of the season. He spun out from the lead. Spa, the next race, he also spun out from the lead. Then he kind of put that behind him with wins at Hungary and many other tracks as well. As in fact, this is going to be the last lap. Olsen rounding the final corner at the moment. The checker flag is out, and it's 2 wins out of 2 for Tobias Olsen, who puts a hand on the championship trophy. Redford finishes in second place once again. Rasmussen finishes in third to match the to go with the 4th in race 1. Sandstrom holds off Swemstra, good defense from him right at the end. Reeve, despite a spin, is going to come home, well, fairly comfortably in the lead of the amateur championship. He's just going through the S's right now. He'll be ahead of Brett Accord, who gets one of his best ever results in an Apex Racing League event in second place, sorry, and Hotham will round out that podium. Very few drivers, even on the lead lap by the end. So many problems, so much action, so entertaining.
Absolutely fantastic race here today. Heart pounding from start to finish. And, you know, I feel like if you were racing in this series, you were just taking a break, you chose a good week to take a break on, because, wow, what a show. If you wanted to take a little bit of break from Daytona, hey, you picked the right broadcast to hop in here, kick back, relax, and watch some good sprint racing. Man, my heart's pounding after that. Wow.
Yeah, well, honestly, one of the best F3 meetings I can ever recall. It was a bit chaotic, but I think, honestly, most of the mistakes we saw were solo mistakes, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we
It
had
was
a few collisions.
We had a few collisions. Yeah, it was a very clean race. I didn't want to say it early on, but no, it was a very clean race. We saw 11 incidents in Moss, but since Moss is 2 corners, that's multiplied over 2 corners, so 22. I was right.
Oh, I can't
Sam's
with
right.
that logic.
Sam, you're actually right. I'm messing with you.
To be fair, when you said 20, you thought it was overall, and I reckon we probably did have 20 overall. So
Yeah.
I thought you had gone way over the mark, but you're actually probably about bang on, if I'm honest. So well done on that.
Well, half the
on that one.
grid here, we've had all but 11 drivers go off the track and hop into the pit lane.
Yeah. Well, even more than that, because a few drivers had to went back out on track. So
Yeah.
Smith and Kate all took toes. In fact, everyone from 12th down had to pit for repairs at some point. So we had 2/3 of the pack needing repairs at some point. Absolutely crazy. There was Olsen at the top, 5.4 seconds. Doesn't really tell you the story. Redford in second, Rasmussen consistent in third. Negretti with probably his best ever F3 meeting. Remember, champion last season, but in the amateur category, but in the pro category, that is really strong from him. Then Sandstrom, Zwemstra, Bartslot's top of the arms was Reeve, then there's Accord and Hotham. Bit under the radar were the divided by zero guys, but they really did get some good results. There's Jacine. Potsapenko was, I think, the first driver who had to come into the pits. Then it was Malishev, Moore, Anderson, Newman, who led for a bit. Smith led in the amateurs for a bit. Then it was Winkler in 18th place overall. And then behind that was Schnabel, championship leader still. Roggenbuck, Blaze, Marteau. He was in with a chance at one point. Fowler, Leclerc, Martinson, who went out on lap 1. Engelhardt, Christensen, Phillimore, and Kabach, Charney. Of course, watching the stream along with us and just as enthralled as I think me and Austin. So good to see that one as we will hopefully have some interviews. Quick shout out to Virtual Racing School though, another one of our sponsors. 50 plus data packs for both road and oval racing available with Virtual Racing School. They got setups, track guides, and also their fantastic data analysis software, which enables you to compare your telemetry with the telemetry of a pro driver, so you can really identify exactly where you're losing time on a track. Huge thanks to Virtual Racing School, and do check out virtualracingschool.com to get yourself a subscription. Let's see who has joined us. We've got a few drivers available for interviews right now. Okay. I'm going to be a bit harsh here because I'm always horrible to Will, but Will, I'd been able to put into the back of my mind Red Bull Ring and Spa when you're in the lead and you spun out, and yet the moment you went out in that race too, immediately the first thing that came into my mind was this has happened before. I'm absolutely gutted for you because that was such a good driving race too. But well, can you talk us through what happened?
Oh man! First off, I want to apologise to Sven Newman for taking him out in race 2 after touching the bump at the inside of turn 1. It sent me into him, so sorry about that, mate. But honestly, this round I wasn't expecting much. I've been doing Daytona all week. We're in the Daytona 24 right now in top split me and my team, so I just came out of a triple stint LMP2 straight into this. Did my first laps of the track an hour before the race started. Crashed 3 times in qualifying. And then the races actually went all right. So, I needed to beat Olsen and I didn't, but the results themselves were pretty good and it was a lot of fun.
Definitely, and I think maybe that qualifying, as you're saying, because I saw you down in 6th place. I was a bit concerned that it didn't seem like you necessarily had the pace, but you certainly did in race 1. It was an insane battle. You guys switching positions constantly. I mean, have you ever been in a race like that in the Formula 3? At least, maybe Spa, but you don't expect races like that at Mosport.
Definitely not in the F3, no. I think everybody just, most of the time in these races, we tend to just stick behind each other and wait till like the last lap. But I think everyone decided they want to have a fight today, which was a lot of fun. And this track as well is perfect for it. I mean, you've got a lot of long corners, which sort of spread it out a bit with the aero wash. But if you take the right line, you can get clean air in your wings and sort of catch up a bit. And then you've got a massive long straight into more twisty corners. So it's definitely, this track's really good for racing. But it was a lot of fun.
You were saying how you were in the 24 hours. How is it going?
We had a few bits of contact early on. So we had 2 spins with GT cars. So it weren't our fault, but that dropped us back a bit. I think we're currently running 17th, but when the pit stops come through, we jump up to like 10th and then back down again. So there's still 15 hours to go. So we'll see what happens.
Well, best of luck for that one, Will. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Shout out to Owen, Daniel, and Jaden, currently in the LMP2 car at Daytona. And shout out to my dad and I think my mum as well for watching.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Will, and best of luck in the last 2 rounds.
Thank you.
Will Redford, their second place in both races. I'm always, like I said, I'm always very negative about Will, but it was two really good results in the end, and at least gives him a chance at the title still with a few races to go. Austin, who would you like to have a chat with next?
Oh, this is gonna be a well, it's pretty much Lime Drive right here. Tobias Olsen. Well, that that's still Will. Tobias. There is Tobias. Tobias, well, couldn't get any better than that. A win and a win. How you feeling about that?
It feels perfect. I mean,
Now, you're missing a pole on top
yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah,
to
yeah,
make it
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, Marto is always a powerhouse in qualifying. Over one lap, he's mega. So I always try to beat him, but it's hard. But it's in the races where the results happen. Then
Yeah,
race one was just, it was mind blowing fighting.
Yeah, let's talk about race one. You and Redford were swapping positions for nearly half the race from 10 minutes all the way to 20 minutes. And then at the start of 20 minutes, you kind of started, you were looking like you were going to move, and then you started backing off. Was that a strategy call that you knew that I have enough draft to go here? I'm just going to wait until the very final lap to actually start making my attack. Was that the strategy, or was it just all circumstance?
I was having the championship in my mind as well, and I knew I had to pay, so that wasn't a problem. So I just backed off a bit, and then I got to run on the last lap, or was it the next last? No, last
It
lap.
was the last lap. It was
Yeah.
white flag. Last opportunity.
On the outside, so it was perfect.
You launched it into there, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, so yeah, good win actually, and it's good for the championship. Yeah, and race two was just, I was just taking it easy. Will Redford was pretty aggressive, I would say, but he spun, and yeah, and I had a massive moment. I was chasing Will Redford there for a couple laps, and then my VR headset lost its traction in my room, so it got black. So I almost went
So that's
straight
why
out
you
in the
dropped
wall.
off the pace.
Yeah.
That's why you dropped off the pace. We thought you were all purposely doing the strategy. Well, I thought you were doing that on purpose to build up the gap. It still worked either way.
It got dark for 2 seconds. And
Oh,
then I found
no.
myself sitting in the floor of the car.
Oh,
And then I had
no.
to readjust it on the straight. So then it worked fine the rest of the race. So
Yeah,
it was
well, hey,
fun.
next week it's Laguna Seca. You have one hand on the trophy. How you feeling about Laguna Seca, and how you feeling about the championship?
About championship, I'm feeling good. About Laguna Seca, not so much. But I just try and take stable points. Should be fine.
All right. Well, I'll take that as a positive. I'm looking forward to it. Before we let you go, Tobias, anyone you want to thank?
Thanks to you guys, and thanks to my team, Malkintech and HR. Thanks for tonight.
Yeah, they're all going to be proud of you. It's all Nicholas Rasmussen, your teammate, finishes up there in third. Congrats on a fantastic 2 wins today and more points here. Championship. We'll see you next week at Laguna Seca. As Sam, you're standing by with
Well, it's tricky. It's really tricky, isn't it? To
I would say
decide who
Jack
to
Reed.
interview. I think Jack Reeve, deserves it because he was up in second place in race 1 in the amateur category, and then took the race win in race 2. Jack, congratulations. Let's go through race 1 first up. Starts at 14th, finished
thank you
12th. It was
guys.
probably the more ordinary one.
Yeah, I felt coming into this, I knew this track was going to be quite fun, but that corner, I know you guys know which one I'm talking about, just kept
Moss.
catching me off guard. And first one, it was going well. I accidentally had a little collide at turn 2, I think it was, which sort of, I wasn't sure if there was damage or not, so I wasn't pushing mega hard to start with. And then it was going well, and I think Leonard just somehow drove through the pack. Like, hands down to Leonard, he had a great drive today, and unlucky of what happened. But he drove through the pack, caught up, and was just able to apply enough pressure on me that I made some mistakes, and it caught me out.
seemed like it was a lot of fun start there. You were battling with a few of the other amateurs, and then race two, things got really crazy. You had a decent starting place, of course, up there in 12th place. I think you gained a few places initially, then you got into the lead, and then I think you lost the lead for a bit, then you were back into the lead. I mean,
Yeah,
can you remember everything that happened?
it was definitely an entertaining one to say the least. At the start, I want to say a big sorry to Mattis. On turn 3 or 4, I just went in a bit too deep trying to overtake someone. I just gave him a little taps. That is completely my fault, but it happens. And then it was sort of like Lennart was so far ahead. He was in like I think he was in P4 or P3 at one point because of Marto and Newman colliding, and then what's it? Lennart got pushed back or something and spun, and then I was in the lead, and then I made a mistake and spun, and Leonard was in the lead, and then he made a mistake, and then I was in the lead. It was definitely entertaining.
Sure. We were discussing the championship permutations from this. You were a bit of a distant third place, but you've cut the lead down. If you can have a couple more rounds like this, you think you got a small chance at the title still?
Yeah, hopefully. I've been having some pretty consistent podiums and wins the last few races, so I don't see why not, as long as I can keep it up.
We wish you the best of luck for that one, Jack. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, everyone watching downstairs, my whole family and friends. I want to give a shout out to Aaron. He didn't have good luck in the first race. His hardware just wasn't working, and then the second race just made a few mistakes. And yeah, and you guys for hosting this. It's been an amazing season so far, and hopefully it's a great one to end up with.
Well, thank you very much, Jack. And
Thank
yeah,
you
best of luck
guys.
for the final two races. We'll see you then.
See ya.
That was Jack Reeve there, second place in race one in the AMS and first place in race two in the AMS. Austin, still time for a couple more interviews. Who would you like to talk with next?
Nicholas Rasmussen. Nick, Nick, how was that race?
I'm gonna need all of the showers after this one. Let me put it like that. That was that was intense, mate. I think to be quite honest, man, you really gotta trust your competitors around here, and just magnificent being in a race league where this can happen. Probably some of the best races I've ever had in terms of the battling. So yeah, really really enjoyed that. Sorry for Marto in the second race that he spun it while we were battling. Feel for him, but yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah, it was. It looked like a lot of fun for you. You finished third and fourth. You had the best seat in the house for some of these amazing fights. You were in the fight for the win for a while in race number one, and then they kind of flew away from you. What was going through your head when you were seeing your teammate Redford and Marteau just go at it, and you were just stuck in the middle up there?
Yeah, that was actually I had to be very calculated today, honestly, because I really want to be I want some stable points. So I really had to weigh out the risk. So I was enjoying a bit in the lead there, obviously, but I struggled all day with the tire temperature on the rear tires. So as soon as they broke away, I got caught up in some traffic in race one. I backed off and just watched their amazing battle. I was just waiting for something to happen, but obviously, them being the quality drivers that they all are, they kept it together. So yeah, that yeah couldn't really keep up, but nevertheless amazing, and congrats to Toppy for once again doing an amazing job for Elgantech NHR.
Well, it looked like an amazing race out there. You had a great time. Before we let you go and get ready for Laguna Seca for another good points haul, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, again, I say it all the time, but again, you guys organizing the league, like, look at this, man. This is just the best place to race a freeze, period. So thanks to you guys. Thanks to all the competitors that I got to race today. There was a lot. I'm not gonna name them all. It's gonna take too long, but you know who you are, and that racing there was just top notch. And thanks to the team Elgantech NHR, my teammate Toppy and Kevin, Henrik, and Mattis.
Well, they're all proud of you, and yeah, you have yourself a good little rest, and we'll see you next week, man.
See you next week. Have a good one, guys.
You too. Sam,
So
what a fantastic race we had here today.
it sure was. I'm very
There's a
quickly as
permanent
well.
grin on my
Just going
face
to
right now.
ask a couple of questions to Mr. Leonard Schnabel, who just joins us now, because I just wanted to have a quick chat, Leonard, because you had one of the most entertaining races of anyone out there. Race 1. We'll try to keep it brief because we are running out of time, but race 1, storming through the order, and then race 2, up there in P3. I mean, talk us through it from your perspective.
I just went like full send because of the pit lane start and try to make the best out of it. But yeah, race 2 was first in the first like 15 laps or something like that. I was quite good. I didn't expect to be in P3, but unfortunately I spun, and 2 laps later I just binned it in turn 2 because I went off in turn 1, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, was really great to watch you out there. I mean, whilst it wasn't necessarily the results you wanted, pretty good for you in the championship. Aaron Smith didn't have a very good round, so 2 rounds to go. You are probably got one hand on the trophy, I think.
Yeah, I would say so too, but you never know. It can turn around in like seconds, and if I crash in the next 3 or 4 races, then I'm done. So I don't want to think about the championship right now. So just focusing on the results for each race.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on certainly your race 1 tonight, Lennart. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys. Awesome stream again, like always, and a shout out to my parents. They're watching again, so yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks for having a chat with us, Lennart, and yeah, best of luck next time out.
Thank you.
Lennart Schnabel there, first place in the AMS in race 1, and then I think about 8th or so in race 2, but of course was as high as 3rd place overall at one point. I very much echo what you were saying, Austin. One of the best F3 races I've seen in this series. One of the best ARL races, in fact, I've seen. It was so action-packed throughout.
It was the action-packed, it was clean, and it was hair-raising to the finish. What a race we saw here today, and next week we get to end it out. It's the end of the series. It feels like it just started,
it's
but
not.
it's the end of the series.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, 2 more rounds.
2 more rounds? I'm jumping the gun again?
Laguna and Donington.
Alright, well, since I've jumped the gun, I'll let you call this one out.
Excellent. So that's good news. We've got 2 more of these to go still, which should be very good. And yeah, should be a really good closer championship with those couple of races. Once again, big thanks to SDK Gaming, to Virtual Racing School, and to Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this series. You can check out more about the services that they provide using the links in the description below. Make sure to like this video, and also subscribe to Apex Racing TV, because we've got lots more action coming up. We've got Formula 3.5 in just a few minutes, in fact. And then we've also got IGP Fun tomorrow. We've got the start of the Apex Racing League Master Cup on Mondays, where you can see Austin race in that. Then Tuesday we've got GT3 Pro Trophy. Wednesday we've got the Porsche Cup Championship. Thursday we've got ARLTC Britain. I've also got the Prototype Championship is over now, but we've still got Radicals on a Friday night. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got about 3 times more broadcasts than that going on every single week on Apex Racing TV. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also check out our social media pages on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, where we are constantly posting highlight videos from some of our broadcasts. So from myself, South, it's... Oh, what was that?
And, you know, after these broadcasts are done, go on over to the official iRacing 24-hour top split race and go cheer on the current leading LMP2 Apex Racing team LMP2 card.
Best team. Had some adversity, I saw, but they are still leading. So best of luck to them, guys. Yes, that pretty much rounds us off then. So I've been Sam Fitzpatrick, and also me has been Austin Knight. Louis Araya has been on the broadcasting cameras this evening, and we'll see you back in 1 week's time in California. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.